It's Keystone Hunters, episode 2. Today we have Jason how you say your last name? Cavanaugh here. We're going to be talking about Jason, to be honest. Welcome, Jason.
Welcome.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys having me on. It'll be hopefully an enjoyable experience for all of us.
Shit, I don't know about that. No, but yeah, so this is Jason. He was with us through our last extravaganza. He's been with us through a lot of it from the beginning in a way. So, but we're happy to have him here back with Keystone Hunters, and he's got a lot of things coming up. It's gonna be pretty awesome. He's our fisherman. So if you see anything, you probably can't see the shirt, but support your local bass fisherman. What we talked about last episode. This is him. This is what all the money goes to when we sell them. So when they're coming out, guys buy them up so he can get some tournaments down. But yeah. Brandon, anything?
Now you pretty much summed it up.
Oh yeah. But yeah,
I had like a list and everything, and you hit it. So.
Oh, did I? Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, where's the
itinerary? We don't have this. We don't have this time. We're pros now.
Yeah.
We're pros.
Yeah.
But
second episode, we got it down. No cost here.
Yeah. But Jason, what brought you to Keystone Hunters other than
I mean, honestly, it was you two that brought me to Keystone Hunters. I mean, I was previously with the hunting group, and I enjoyed my time with the two of you. I had a lot of fun going to the golf course and shooting geese, missing ducks.
I was gonna say you missed a lot there. I'm just saying. I mean, but the last couple of videos he hit. Well,
yeah,
you hit him.
Yeah,
we winged the crap out of him.
I mean, you're a hell of a runner.
Yeah,
buddy. To run out across the par 5 like that.
Somebody has to.
I ain't running.
Well, I ain't. Nah, wait. We had a guy for that.
It's always the new people that have to run.
It is,
Yeah.
and then the newer person comes on, they get to clean all the geese. So
Yeah.
Well, I don't mind cleaning geese or duck.
It's not.
That's not hard. That's probably one of the easiest things to clean.
Yeah.
Personally,
that's why I film, so I don't have to do any of it.
Jerky tastes good though.
Oh yeah, jerky's really good. It's okay. But what do you have coming up? Anything coming up that?
Well, let's see. I got a lot, honestly. Got a lot of tournaments coming up. So give you a little bit of a rundown of what I actually do. So I do a lot of obviously fun fishing, but the majority of my time I spend is tournament fishing. So basically I fish the TBF, which is the Bass Federation. It's a national thing, but each state has its own sector or its own chapter, I guess is the best way to put it. So I fish in the Pennsylvania Bass Federation, and what I do in that is I'm a co-angler. I don't own a boat. I used to, sold it, but now I'm a co, and basically what I do is just travel around fishing my district, which is District 3, and I'll fish 3 individual tournaments of that. I also fish normally the state championship if I'm invited to it. I fish the national semifinals again if I'm invited to it. That's all based on qualification, on how you finish. Another few tournaments that I do, I fish within my club, Mason-Dixon Bass Anglers. Shout out to those guys. They're a great group of guys here locally in Pennsylvania and South Central Hanover. If it's fun to join, just let us know. If you got a boat, we'll definitely take you.
Yeah, we actually sponsor.
Yeah, Keystone does sponsor them. But I don't really I fish in the club. I really don't fish their opens. We hold opens that are available to the public to come to. And what I do during those is mainly I help with running everything. So I'm the big face guy, I guess is a good way to put it. Harley's the president, but I'm the VP. So I run basically all the social media accounts. I'm in charge of the photos. Usually I'm also in charge of writing on the boards, the weights. The last tournament was the first time we went live on Facebook. So that was interesting. We had a lot of people, and I was the main face of that one. basically because you just kept seeing my face the whole time. But
Yeah, it was your face the whole time.
it was my
And
face
some
the whole
guy
time.
was just smoking a cigarette. So I don't know who that was, but
Here, nobody was smoking it. Well, that was probably Harley, but that's not a cigarette.
oh,
That's
wow.
just that's his coping mechanism.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
it's honestly it's a little thing that he uses because he used to smoke cigarettes. He doesn't
Oh.
smoke them now, but it's like that's one of those like fixation.
Yeah, I got
that
you.
helps with that.
I get.
Then I also fish a lot of open tournaments down on the bay with a good buddy of mine, Chase White. I fish with him a lot. We fish. Sometimes we fish the Chester counties. We are going to be fishing the Ike Foundation tournament this year, which is a big tournament down on the bay. We're going to be fishing the SFT Open, which is another big one run by Susquehanna Fishing Tackle. We fished a few of the Susquehanna Flats Trail, which is different than the SFT, but it's that one's run by Brian Setlock. Hopefully, if everything works out and the wife allows it, I'll be fishing in the VFLs this year. But yeah, there's lots and lots of tournaments lined up throughout the year. Mason-Dixon isn't the only thing that I fish with. I also fish with another club here in Pennsylvania called Susquehanna River Bassmasters. And I also fish with Lancaster County Hog Hunters. All our clubs here within District 3 of the TBF that I fish with and have fun with. It's all solid group of guys that I fish with. That's basically what I do.
Sounds jam packed. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
we looked on our calendars. We were like trying to set up stuff, and Jason's like, "Yeah, pretty much every Saturday, I can't do anything." So, like, we just had an Easter egg hunt, and he could make that one, but then he has a thing to go after that. So he's a busy man. So, but when you say you have to qualify for like those, like, do you have to do like previous tournaments ahead of that just to get in? Like, do
Yeah,
you have
like-
to hit like a certain like limit or?
Yeah, like how do you get like you say invitation?
So like for instance, the state championship in Pennsylvania is like I said, qualification based. What you have to do is you have to fish the districts. There are 3 tournaments, and you have to be in the top 10% of that to get an invite. So on average, on the co-angler side, it can average anywhere throughout the year from 40 to 50 anglers. So you have to finish in the top 10% of that to be able to get an invite. If you get the invite, congratulations. You still go here. You're going to fish another tournament, and a little bit bigger, a little bit more money, but it's a lot more fun. In my personal opinion, I like the state championships, but it's mainly because I do well during them, and they're on most of the time New York waters, which is significantly better fishing than around here, in my personal opinion. But yeah, it's a good time. So once you get your 10% and you finish in that top 10% of that, and then let's say you finish top number 1 overall in the state championship. If you finish in the state championship, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th, I think it is, depending on the field again. But I think that it's still 10%. Then you get an invite to the national semifinals. And in the national semifinals, then you're competing against New York and Canada. We compete with Ontario. So last year, I was fortunate enough to finish high enough in the state championship that I actually qualified for the Pennsylvania state team to fish against Ontario and New York. So my weights were counted in that overall tournament at the national semifinals, which was pretty cool. Myself and Cade, the guy that actually won the national semifinals and ended up turning around and going and winning the national championship too. So him and I were both on the same team with Pennsylvania State, as well as another gentleman who finished with us in 2nd place. His name was Jason as well. And we all fished together essentially on the team. We're on different boats. Everybody was wherever on the lake. We were fishing Lake Champlain for that. So that was my first time on Lake Champlain. That was really cool. A lot of fun. Yeah, but tournament fishing has definitely opened a lot of opportunities for me, from making friends to finding new people to go fish with, to opening up other tournament series and all sorts of things. So it's been a very valuable learning experience, and I'm learning every single day still.
Now, being a co-angler, do you think it's harder to get through than, like, if you own your own boat, do you feel like you could be more like in the top whatever because you have control of the boat? With you being a co-angler, you pretty much have to fish a lot harder because you can't go where you want. I mean, as long as you're friends with the guy that's running the boat, hey, we should go there. But does a co-angler, do they win less because of that? Like, do you see that a lot?
Well, co-anglers compete against co-anglers and boaters.
Oh,
compete
okay,
against
okay,
boaters. So
gotcha.
I'm competing against the same individuals that are.
So it could be easier for you then.
Yeah, it can be depending on like what you're dealing with. You can obviously as a co-angler, you're at the mercy of the boater. So
like say I have a boat, you're my co-angler, and I'm like, I want to hit this spot, and you're like, I don't think it's anything there or whatever, not a good spot right now. Can you, like, 9 times out of 10, like, do you say something to the owner of the boat, like, if you're not
just
really familiar with them, or you just go along for the ride? Because that guy's going to want to be on the spot because he's trying to win as well as you.
Yeah.
You guys aren't in the same group.
Yeah, no. So what I end up doing most of the time is just keeping my mouth shut.
Yeah.
I don't really.
You?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Jason does? Oh shit.
No. I don't really tell my boaters what to do. I mean, in the team tournaments and stuff like that, it's a little bit of a different situation because it's team oriented. But I mean, boaters will obviously ask you sometimes, like, "Hey, do you know of anywhere?" Technically, I'm not supposed to say anything. As a co-angler, you are not supposed to say anything because it is against the rules of the TBF. So essentially, what ends up happening is you can get into trouble for it and get disqualified and all that type of stuff. So it's a fine line to tread sometimes, especially in like the 2-day tournaments. So like the national semifinals and the state championships are both like 2-day tournaments. So I can go somewhere with my boater on the first day and be like, "Oh, this is a great spot." And then second day rolls around and say I get with a boater. Say my boater's in first place and I'm in first place and I get the boater in last place. He can go, "Where were you yesterday?" I can't say a word. Can't tell him. Can't tell him at all. I can't give him any information on that. I can't go, "Hey, we should go here." I can't do anything of that nature. I can't go to that spot that boater previously took me the next day. If by happenstance that boater takes me there, so be it.
Yeah.
Which has happened before. I've had that happen to me before and ended up in the same area again. But that wasn't me. That was like the boater going by and going, "That's the guy in first."
Yeah.
When just turning the boat and just following around. I mean, it's not unheard of. It's not allowed though. It
should get like a coughing sequence hooked up to where like you're like, "Hey, we need to go north." I mean, just like 2 or like
send them a text message.
now, like if it's a 2
texting, you're not like texting a tournament. You're not allowed to be on your phone. You're not allowed any of that type of stuff.
So like
that's crazy.
Like if it's a 2-day tournament, well, I'm like you go out to dinner, you can't like, because you're not in, technically you're not on the land nor of the tournament, like you're off, so you still can't like say this is
so like if you're in a 2-day tournament, all right, and for those 2 days you're with 2 separate boaters.
Yep.
So you could just be like not even knowing. So like, "Hey, where'd you guys fish at?" Like, because if there's 50 people, and
or
you
do
guys
you know
are in a general area, like
it's
not like you know everybody that's fishing.
Or do you know that your second day captain that you're gonna be
your second day?
It depends. So like typically, like at the national semifinals, I always know my boater the second day, because what you do at the national semifinals are a little bit more formal than the state championship for obvious reasons. So you'll like for instance, this past year up at the national semifinals, I met with my boater on the first day. We went out, we had a 10-minute meeting, came back, and then they go, "All right, we're gonna go back to the lineup for your second day, and you're gonna go meet your guy that you were with on the second day." And then we went and met the guy on the second day, but the guy that I was meeting with on the second day wasn't there, so I didn't get to actually meet him. But yeah, so that's how it works. You as a co-angler, you kind of just have to keep your mouth shut.
Keep your mouth shut and just along for the ride.
Yep, you have to do your best to not giving away information. You can't go, "Oh, my boater was throwing this yesterday with this bait." Like, you can't do that because it's purely out of respect for the other.
Oh, absolutely.
Now,
like if you're on the back throwing a different bait than the boater, can he be like, hey, what are you using?
Oh yeah, yeah,
I mean, obviously he's gonna look and see what you're using
100%. You can
and see how you're tossing it or what you're doing with it.
I've had guys that have handed me baits like, here, I'm catching them on this, like, they'll throw me like a bait from the back of the boat or from the front of the boat, or like I've had guys that are on the front of the boat. I'm like, here, I'm catching them on this, and that's on like a color, and they'll be like, oh, I got something similar to that, and they'll pull something out. Well, I mean, for instance, we just had a club tournament the other day, and me and another guy were fishing together, and I'm like, hey, this is what I'm using, this is what I'm catching them on. He didn't have that color, but built something damn close to it.
Yeah.
And started catching fish. Better than I was, to be honest. Then I started, it was back and forth.
Yeah.
It was all day. Good catch some.
sounds very complicated.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's, I guess, and I would say it's complicated. It's just very hush-hush. Like I feel like, you know, the next day you show up and that cat, or not, whatever,
the boater.
the boater knows you're on first place boats yesterday and you come in and everything's rigged up. Like, obviously you would feel like he would be like, okay, he's using this jig, this color, like he knows why. So like, it's pretty, if you know what you're doing, you understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Like little silent things.
Oh
yeah, yeah.
Total silent hints.
Yeah.
You can't just flat out go, hey, this is where we were and this is what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
But now like if you know the guy and you meet up and like he asks like, what are you going to use tomorrow? Can you guys talk about that?
I typically don't even talk about what I'm using tomorrow. 'Cause
Okay.
What
Well,
ends
it
up-
could change, but
yeah, it changes because, so for instance, like prime example was the national semifinals this year. So like my boater on the first day, I'm like, hey, what are we doing? He's like, we're gonna run down to the swamps, and we're on Champlain. Champlain is, forget how big Champlain is. Champlain's huge. He's like, we're gonna go down here. We're gonna fish at this spot down in the swamp, like right off the ramp. Essentially, we ran 500 yards and started fishing, and down in the swamp, it's entirely different water. It's not clear. A lot higher weeds, a lot higher grass, more matted stuff. Primarily down there, you're chasing largemouth. My boater on the second day, meet with Keith, and Keith goes, hey, we're going 25 miles up the lake to Clearwater. So we're going up into, what we ended up doing was just what they call on Champlain is the Narrows, and we ended up in the Narrows and took a right, and we're fishing in Vermont. So we had Vermont licenses and everything. Like Champlain, I needed to have a Vermont license and a New York fishing license. So if I was in that shared water or in that, so Vermont and New York share Champlain, and you can fish the entire way until you get to the Narrows, and the Narrows split. If you go off onto the New York side, you're fine with the New York freshwater license. But if you go off into that narrow on the right side and you go up into Vermont, then you need the Vermont fishing license.
that's freaking crazy.
Oh yeah, it gets wild. Perfect example of down here, Conowingo. I mean, a lot of guys fish the Conowingo down here. You need a Maryland freshwater license to go up the creeks in Maryland side. So like it's shared water. So like Brandon can have or you or anybody can have a Maryland fishing license and go launch out of the launch in Pennsylvania and fish the main river on the Conowingo. And that's fun. But as soon as he would go up to like Muddy Creek, which is north and on the west side of the shore, and he would go and break that threshold of going into the creek, PA license. Same thing with Broad Creek down in Maryland. You go down and you go up into Broad, you need a Maryland freshwater license. So there's shared waters, and there's states that kind of share that with each other and allow it. And then there's stipulations.
Yeah, we deal with it. Like when I'm down at the beach, you know, like we fish Ocean City, and then if we want to go Delaware, we still gotta. But like for flounder and stuff, if you catch a fish in Ocean City, Maryland, and you live in Delaware, you're supposed to tag your fish. Like you're supposed to put a tag that it's caught, you know, in Ocean City, because they don't, like, because certain states have different regulation sizes. So like, you know, you could carry in a fish that's legal in that one, and the next state it's smaller. So I mean, it's so confusing. I don't understand why we have to have a fishing license. Like,
Yeah.
like, like, you know what I mean? Like, even when we go, like, I know federal, like, it's helping preserve the tuna and stuff, but, like, they ain't stocking them. Like, they're not put, like, everything's, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Or open water.
open water, like, to me is bull crap. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't know. I just think it's just
Yeah, it is a pain in the butt.
yeah. Like, put the money into it and let's have fun. But
You gotta do what you gotta do.
yeah, but yeah, what month we in April, right? So, like when you're fishing this time of year, everything changes because it's cold, it's warm, it's cold, it's warm. You know, and it's gotta be a pain. But like if you're fishing, just say out of Susquehanna River, like what would you be throwing now? Like tubes or would because the water's probably dark. I mean,
Right.
it's probably dirty as anything. Goldfish.
Well, right now it's dirty
Gold.
probably from all the rain that we just got.
Yeah, that too.
But so like for instance, this time of year, I mean it's purely dependent on water clarity and temperature of the water.
Yeah.
Temperature of the water plays a larger role in it than most people realize. Like you're not going to go out and throw it. I mean, you can. You're not really going to go out and throw like a fluke or a Senko in 45-degree water.
No.
Chances are you're not going to catch it doing that. But I've seen it happen.
I was gonna say
I've seen
it. Yeah.
I had a guy I was fishing with a few years ago. I mean, 45, I think, what was the lake? 47 degrees. Yeah, it's 47 degrees. Rolled back into this cove, nicely lit off with the sun and everything. And he goes, I'm not throwing a Psycho back here in the corner. And I'm like, okay. And I'm still going along with a jerk bait. And he's like, I got one. I'm like, okay. I ran back with a net, came out of the water, got it in. And I'm like, dude, I think this is a 5. And he's like, it's a big one. I'm like, yeah, no kidding, it's big. And then put it in the live well, ended up taking it back, weighing it in. It was a club tournament, and I think it was like 4.94. And he was like, well, guess what I caught that on? A Senko. And everybody's like, what? And I'm like,
right.
We're watching him do it. It's not even funny. Like, I wish he was lying, but he's
Yeah,
not.
they're probably thinking these guys are basket fishing. They set these fish out last night, and they're just saying they're catching on this stupid stuff.
No, but so like if I'm going to Susquehanna River right now, personally myself, so I would have to check the river conditions. Honest to God, if I go fish the river, this is the dead honest truth. So if I'm gonna go fish the river, I always look at NOAA, which is NOAA gives you the
Noah's Ark.
Yeah,
But we would probably need it with all the rain we were
I forget what NOAA actually stands for, but it's NOAA, and NOAA gives you like the water depth.
Yeah.
Like, is the river high? Is the river low? Is it peaking? Is it rising? Is it falling? Like, all that type of stuff. And that's what's going to determine how I rig myself. So, like, if the river's on the rise, I'm probably not going to go fish, to be honest with you, because the river on the rise, you run into the issues of a lot of things floating down.
Oh, yeah.
Logs. Hey, a lot of things.
Yeah.
Mainly just logs.
Seen refrigerators. I've seen everything come down that freaking river.
Railroad ties.
Oh,
Other boats that aren't anybody on them.
oh yeah, freaking campers. Like if it's up high enough, it'll reach some of those. But it moves. That river.
It moves.
You think it's big,
Yeah,
but that river
fast
freaking
moving.
moves.
Fun fact about the Susquehanna River. Did you know that the Susquehanna River is the longest unnavigable river in the entire world?
That's awesome.
And why it's considered unnavigable? Because of all the dams in it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean,
Literally,
honestly, if you really were a badass person, you could hit them, parachute, down to another boat and just keep going.
Just
I
go
mean,
down. Anyone can go now.
yeah.
I wouldn't
down
do
the
it.
river.
No, I mean, dude, the one down in Maryland, like right there.
Conowingo.
The Conowingo down.
Damn, dude, that wouldn't be fun.
Well, no, if I'm going to go to the river right now, the river technically right now is on the D. It should be coming down from the rain that we just had. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head to the West Shore, because the West Shore is my personal favorite on the river. And I'm going to be throwing a black and blue jig, a black and blue jackhammer, something dark, or chartreuse, something along those lines that's going to get the fish attention.
Yeah.
There's no... If it's muddy, you want darker lures, you want bright lures, like ridiculously bright. So like, as goofy as it sounds, your pinks, your oranges, your chartreuses, all the colors that you go. Do you actually catch fish on those?
Yeah. The ones that you see like at the store that are still hanging, and you're just like, okay, but they're the ones you got to use.
You're like, wiping the dust off of them. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what they are.
Fun fact about smallmouth love chartreuse.
Yep.
That's just the thing. They're one of my favorite jerk baits to throw out on the river when it's cold enough. It's a blue back, clear body with a chartreuse bottom, and that's made by Rapala.
Now, do you, like, when you're fishing, like, when you do go to the river and stuff, do you find yourself finding more of, like, slack water, if that makes any sense? Like, because, like, if you get somewhere out and, like, if it's really the current's moving or the dam's open and the stuff's flying, like, I feel like with bass fishing, you can't reuse a lot of weight because you got to have a lot of feel, you know? So, like, do you fish, like, try to find the little, like, cuts, you know, is that, or
like
do you fish more of like the slower areas?
You're eddies, so you're asking.
Yeah.
No. To be honest, no. When it's high water, high water, I'll target the eddies. During high water, I'll target the eddies because what fish are doing during high water, it's the same thing that everybody else is. If you're caught in a flood, what are you going to do? You're going to push to the shore. You're going to try to get up, and you're going to try to find something that's like not that you can essentially hide from the current. So when that river rises up, the bass move to the shoreline. Smallmouth will move to the shoreline when the river is high. Some of the best days I've had on the water out on the Susquehanna River is falling water. Like, people are looking at it and go, oh my God, the river's 4 foot higher than normal. Get me out there. And it's falling. I don't care. I will figure out, I will try to find somebody that's willing to take me out and fish, because those are significantly the best things I've ever.
I mean, it's like, in a way, it's like a tide. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the water's coming down, so the fish are, you know, stuff's stirring back up. So
the fish are so congregated, essentially. So, like, all the fish that are out on the shelves that are out in the middle of the river and stuff like that, they have to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So they either go down, but most of them are going to push up. Most of them push out to, like, the trees and all that type of stuff. The junk that's in the water that they can get out of the current, they'll push up into. I mean, I still remember to the day, like, it was one day out on Gold Furrow in high water, and we were fishing out on, it was me and my buddy, and we went down, and I said, you know what, I've never fished this portion of the river before out on Gold Furrow. What's so funny? Is it Brent behind the camera?
No. Well, it's you're good.
Wait, they were going ND right there.
No.
But my fishing stories are funny.
No, you're good.
I mean, he's over there like dying, like.
No, I'm staring at Brent, and he's just like staring at the screen.
Oh,
like playing on his phone back there.
No, he was staring at the camera screen.
He's watching Brains Cartel.
Why?
Watching Metric Cartel custom calls, trying to win some stuff.
Sorry, I broke up your story.
I mean, you're just over there like dying on us.
I went in the moment. That's why I tried to lean out.
He was falling asleep.
I was like, maybe maybe farted or something. He was just smelling, just waiting for us to.
You know that happened.
But yeah, keep going with your story.
So it was me and my buddy Carl. We're out in high water, and I mean, we annihilated fish. I mean, it was. I have pictures, and I could pull them up and show anybody if they wanted to see them. Carl and I were catching 3.5s, 4s, 4.5s, like it was nobody's business. And I mean, it was just, we're rolling down through. I mean, each of us, the two of us, probably had anywhere from 18 to 19 pounds with our 5 largest fish. And we caught, I think between Carl and I, we caught over 70 between the two of us.
Wow.
That's a good day.
And that was, the ironic part
fingers are probably all messed up.
Oh, yeah, our fingers were really messed up. The ironic part was, because we rode down, and we got to the point, and I said, you know what, let's just start here, we'll fish here, we'll work our way down. We fished down, and I said, dude, we got down to the end. I mean, we hammered fish all the way down through, and I'm like, dude, we should go back up through. He's like, yeah. So I went to hit my motor, and didn't work.
Oh my God.
That's probably like the worst feeling.
I literally dropped the cell. So I started the boat, ran down, no problem, dropped the cell on the battery. In that short span of, I don't know how many hours it was or what time it was, but in that short span, I ended up dropping a cell on my battery. Couldn't start my boat anymore. I wish I would have had jumper cables. Technically, I could have run jumper cables from the front trolling motor battery to the back trolling motor.
Yeah,
You give it
yeah,
a jump.
start, yeah.
But I didn't have jumper cables. That's
Why
it's something now when I got done with that before I sold my boat, jumper cables ended up back on my boat.
couldn't you just take the battery out the trolling motor and put it back there? And
I could have, but it would have been a pain in the.
I mean, on a river, you got one way you're going.
Yeah.
It's whatever the water you're going.
My trolling motor was fine. I
Okay.
had a good trolling motor, and what I did was it was a 24-volt trolling motor, and all I did was just cook my way back up.
Yeah, that works.
We fished our whole way back up. We basically went from Goldsboro's dam all the way back up to the top of the river on the trolling motor. And continued to fish the whole way up, and then drove to Advanced Auto Parts. That's when I got a new battery.
Yeah, that river.
It's
Scary.
make you humble quick.
Yeah, real
I mean,
quick.
especially in the wintertime.
You got the wind up there going. You got the dams open, dude. That water, it's nasty. I mean, there's a lot of people that pass away out there just from stupid stuff.
treacherous.
You know, and like, I love night fishing up there, but it's freaky as hell. Like, you don't know, can't see anything. Like, you're just going and on a dam. Luckily, where I go, it's deeper water, so I don't have to worry about it. But like, some of the guys freaking just hog on that thing.
Yeah,
Like,
closing up through the rocks and stuff. Like just
nah, I'm good. I'm
even
good.
the bow. We're gonna go right there.
Well, there's some guys that know how to do it, though. I mean, there's guys out there that know how to run the river, know how to run the chutes, is what they're called, and know how to get to place without. They'll go through inches of water that you look at and go, there's no way we're getting through this, and they'll just put it down full bore, and they know exactly where to turn, when to turn, to do what, to get up to here, to get to there, to go to this.
Oh, yeah. I looked in there the day they learned it.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, we were going up the river.
Yeah, GPS is a good thing nowadays.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Saves your runs.
But it
Helps you out a
will
little
change
bit.
a little bit with the
Yeah.
rain and stuff like that. But it's crazy. Got any
What is your favorite rod reel setup right now that you find yourself using the most?
I like a knuckly stick.
Yes. So a lot of these things, yeah, let me tell you. No, so
don't let him. He just literally bought
He
this
just
new
bought a new
expensive. Hey, Hannah, he just got another new rod and reel.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
4 of them already this month.
Yes. Kill him.
I'm just kidding. If he did, he did.
I did get a St. Croix Bass Tournament rod. It's called Bass Legend Tournament Series. It's a glass rod. It's
Glass.
Yeah, it's glass.
Clear?
No. It's called a glass rod. It's the terminology. for
Yeah.
it. But no, I did buy that. Paired it up with a Daiwa Tatula STDX. It's a 7-to-1 gear ratio, and I plan on throwing a lot of chatterbaits on it. So that's probably my favorite rod right now. The other rod that I use a lot actually is called a Denali Covert 7.6, and I throw also a lot of chatterbaits on that. Big Denali guy.
I'm saying no Shimano. I mean that you're not riding that coattail.
Do not like Shimano. Just personal preference. A lot of guys do. A lot of guys like Shimano stuff. I've had too many issues with Shimano's that I'm not a fan of them.
Yeah.
Put it this way, I've dumped my Tatulas by accident, and they've gotten covered in water and stuff like that, and they've been fine. And I've had Shimano's accidentally get waterlogged, and they don't want to work anymore.
Oh yeah.
So there's nothing against Shimano. It's just a personal preference.
When your Shimano
I mean,
turns into a
it's
Shamu
your
in the
work.
bottom of the
It's your
lake.
tool that you're using. So why not use what you like?
Yeah.
It doesn't. Unless Shimano's like, hey man, we want to give you a full ride. We want you to do this.
Yeah.
It's a different. Oh, love them, love them.
Yeah.
But
There's money
Take
when
back
there's
what I said.
when there's money on the line. I want to use the best equipment that I can have, and just my personal opinion right now, the stuff that I own, I do own a few Abus, some Abus, Rebo, Abu Rebo SX. I own other stuff. I do own a Corrado. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I do have one.
yeah,
It's not like it's just
no.
it's not like I don't use them.
Yeah,
It's just that they're just
got to have at least one in your. Everyone
Yeah.
has a Corrado.
I thought you were a Shakespeare guy.
Yeah. What do you think about the new electronic ones that are coming out? The electronic brakes and all that stuff.
Look, if you look at it, I'm not going to use one of those.
Dude, they sound wicked.
They do sound.
Like, I feel like I've seen guys that just, like, straight up just, I mean, sling it as hard as they can and just never backlash it.
Well,
That's pretty badass. I mean,
I'm not a baitcaster guy.
oh yeah.
I'm a baitcaster guy, but, like, I get so confused on what side I want. Because, like, I like to reel this way, but then I want to cast with my right. So it just,
I gotta
like-
have a left side.
You can have a lefty baitcaster. You know that, right?
yeah, I know. But, like, I like to reel with my right, but I have to cast with my right. So then I got to switch it back over to the reel. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it just feels like,
I know exactly what you're saying because that's what I do with my like underspins essentially, like my
Yeah.
open face rods. That's 100%.
well, you're left-handed, too.
Well, you hold your reels upside down, right?
Yeah,
Or
Yeah,
everything.
actually, I flip it entirely the
And
other
then
way
just-
around.
I know a guy that does that.
Yeah.
I know a guy that did that one too. But
Yeah.
Catch
Don't look at me.
I look back and there's like, there ain't no way he's doing that right now. For all these guys.
Still, small.
No, it wasn't him.
No, I'm
It was my
was
other
like,
buddy.
what's he doing?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, he never.
No.
I mean, he went fishing with you a couple times down the beach and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's not like he was around it. It was awesome that he even just came out. Like
Yeah. That was a big jump for him to go out where we
Yeah.
went.
he learned real quick. He was not in shape. He thought he was, but no,
No, tuna fish will humble you.
real quick.
And they can just be a 50-pound tuna that's just like,
Well,
just like take your like soul and just crush it.
Oh yeah, dude,
Yeah, just like
it's crazy. And there's fish out there that just, I mean,
Yeah.
just hours to get them in. You
Yeah.
know, like that's what's wild about that. It's what's wild about fishing. Period. You know, like you can catch fish size of a freaking penny to whole way like freaking size of like
a boat.
a boat.
A
You know what I mean? And they're like, well, who knows what the heck's out there?
Yeah.
He's something that could eat a boat
You
for all
see
we know.
guys rolling in 1,000-pound tunas. Like,
Yeah, it's freaking nuts.
And then you got the story where, oh, it took me 6 hours. And then the next guy's like, oh, we just caught a 900-pound that only took them 2 hours.
yeah.
You
It's
know?
just, you get some dumb fish. They'll
Yeah.
swim right to the boat and you're done. But you get some that just don't want to give up and you're there. It's,
Man.
you know, and the worst part is like, if you think it's a record fish, no one can touch it other than the mate can get the rod to you and it has to release. And the rest of that, no one else can jump on that rod to make it a record fish. As soon
Yeah.
as someone touches that pole, touches the line or whatever, done.
that's the same thing with the white marlin open.
Well, yeah.
You hook up on a fish in a white marlin, you're not allowed to. Nobody else is allowed to touch that rod or reel.
That, and you get lie detectors, you have all that kind of stuff. Like we're talking about millions of dollars.
Yeah.
You know, like honestly, I think all tournaments should have something in that way because there's a lot of cheaters.
Bass
I mean,
fishing does it.
yeah,
I mean, if you're accused of cheating, you do go through a lie detector test. Not to like the extent like that we are. I mean, like in my little club tournaments and stuff like that, I'm not gonna go
yeah,
lie detector test. When you get up to like the elite level, like
Yeah.
the guys you see on TV, like they do, they're put through lie detector test.
Yeah.
They're accused of cheating.
There's walleye guys got away with a lot that night.
Yeah, they got away with a lot. Well, they finally got caught, and I'm pretty sure they lost a lot.
then they go to jail.
They went to jail.
Yeah,
they
they're
lost
definitely
their
getting
boat,
some
they
weight
lost
stuffed in them now.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of obvious, I guess. Like they said, like this guy has the same size fish and is 2 pounds lighter than.
Oh yeah, like dude, there were some
Then-
big weights in these
Yeah.
things. Like, get the heck!
I just, that guy's probably a master stitcher to be able, or however he got that.
You just
big-
throw them
did
down
he-
the throat, wasn't he?
What he just ran them down the throat?
Yeah, cause like so.
That's a lot of money you ran. You know how much some light weights are?
Yeah, but how much
take
you
home the
winning?
walleye. You take home the walleye. That's
So you're
Hey,
reusing the bait.
Popping them back out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then counting this
Probably
thousands and
$100.
thousands of dollars they won.
Yeah, but what? Yeah, they were sponsored by Ranger, weren't they?
Yeah, and they lost their Ranger sponsorship. Ranger actually came and confiscated their. Well,
The
Ranger
boat.
didn't confiscate the boat, but Ranger
Got the
had
boat.
their boat confiscated.
It was a boat and a truck, wasn't it? I thought it was the combo.
It might have been the truck too. I can't speak on that because I don't know about the truck. But most likely, yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
you have
that's
all that and just piss it away.
I tell you that.
Something stupid.
Yeah, that's just stupid.
But
That's,
when money's involved, people do
Dude.
stupid things.
yeah, all the time.
There's cheating involved in a lot of things, and bass fishing isn't.
It's there, but it's not as
not as common,
like,
but it's there.
it's there. Yeah.
I mean, there's been, for instance, Pincho. I mean, guys have been caught up there cheating on pincho.
Like baskets and stuff in the water.
Baskets in the water, bass baskets. They'll sink a basket down to the bottom, and
That's crazy.
they'll they'll come up there in the week, catch big bass, and then sink it. I mean, there's guys that have been busted for it, by guys that have been kicked out of tournament series. There's guys that were kicked off the other series. I mean, it usually doesn't make it out to the public because most of the guys that run tournaments here locally are just like, you keep your mouth shut. You don't talk bad about me. I won't talk bad about you. You're just not allowed back. And I'm going to tell everybody else that's fishing all these other tournaments that you are a cheater.
Yeah.
Just understand that. But it's their decision to kick you out or not kick you out. But you are permanently banned from any and all of my series. It's stuff like that. It's simple things. And it's just, you're cheating for a couple $100.
Yeah, like
you're
that
ruining
ain't
your entire reputation for a few bucks.
Yeah.
It's really not worth it.
Well, there's people that cheat in golf. Like, it's just crazy.
Everything. I mean, that's like the coyote thing.
Oh yeah, that's
Last year, they apparently, or a couple of years ago, that big one upstate, they had, I guess, a guy with coyote was raising in his barn.
Oh yeah, like how I guess like stomach maybe. I guess you could see maybe like, because if you peeled open or like cleaned out a normal coyote, you would probably see like regular stuff. But like someone I feel like that home carries it, like it probably got like you probably see some kind of like grain or you know what I mean,
something
like
to fatten it up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean, to make it heavier.
You're not seeing like just straight old rabbit or whatever mouse. They're feeding it good food to get there.
Yeah.
So like why? Like I don't know, it just blows my mind. It's just crazy. But yeah, you excited for some hunting this year too?
Yeah, I am. Not only do I fish a lot, I also do a lot of hunting too. Usually what ends up happening is February is my only dead month, is the best way to put it, where I don't have something involved on the weekends. Because March tournaments start off with fishing and January is when hunting ends. So
yeah, it works for
February is
you.
my only break. But yeah, got a lot of hunts lined up. I'll be headed out to North Dakota again this year.
North Dakota.
Chasing ducks. I'll be headed up with you guys to New York to chase geese during resident season with Finger Lake Outfitters. And then we'll be black duck. We have a sea duck hunt and a puddle duck shoot set up. Both of those again, back-to-back days. I think that's the way we did it. Yeah, we did sea duck. Sea duck first day, and then puddle duck second day. Yeah.
But hey, we're gonna try to do our own sea duck hunt.
We're gonna try to do our own sea
try
duck hunt.
Yeah, we'll give it a shot.
Yeah, we got deeks now. We
We got
just don't know. I think we're just gonna hang in the boat and just shoot out it unless someone has a extra UFO or something or whatever they're called that they want to
lay out boat.
Yeah, I mean we'll probably find something like maybe we can talk to Black Duck and see if they might have some extra or when we go out and they're not out, maybe we can work something out.
Borrow.
Yeah,
Borrow.
something.
Well, what was it? Yeah, but
I mean, you can shoot ducks off the back of a boat.
Oh yeah, just it'd be fun.
We'll just hang some burlap over it.
Well, we have that blind I got. We can put that thing up.
That's what we use out there in North Dakota. We use burlap.
Yeah.
We lay out in the field with burlap over top of us. That was not a joke.
That was my first ever duck hunt with my dad. And I realized how fast ducks were.
Yeah, ducks are fast.
Ducks are very fast, especially when you're on a creek. Oh my god!
What's the fastest?
Pintail.
No.
No.
Not
Teal?
pintail. Sorry, I was
They're not the fastest ducks.
What was it?
Canvasback. Canvasback was clocked at I think it was 70 miles an hour.
That's it.
Yeah, I think no. Everybody talks about how fast teal are. They're like, oh my god.
I think because they're smaller.
They're like when bufflehead busts into a pond, and you blink and they're like, dude, where'd they come from?
Yeah, I think it's just because they're smaller. But like when you're on the creek, I don't care what it is, what duck, when they're coming, like if you're on a bend, when they come around, dude, it's freaking, they're like planes.
I can't see the greatest, so when they're like coming straight at me,
Oh, we know you can't.
No. Yeah, we'll be out in the golf course and he'll be like, "Oh, there's some geese out there." I'm like, "Get the you don't see
But then I
shit."
see geese.
Yeah, he
I
freaking
see
hears them. Maybe his hearing's not bad,
No, my hearing's good.
but
Well,
eyesight.
It was this once during early goose season. It was me, you, and Phil out there, and the ones flew right over top of you. When me and Bill were going up to we're like, all right, we're gonna walk down here and we're gonna set up here for when the light comes out, and we're gonna see if we can get these geese that are gonna come off the roost. And we were in the middle of the process of sneaking down, and they got up off the roost, and it was shooting light, and all of a sudden we're like, "You're coming," and Brandon, boom, 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 and not a single goose fell. What the hell? They flew right over top of him. And he goes, we get back up there, and Brandon's like, "I didn't realize there were geese right above me. I was shooting at the ones over here." And I'm like, "Dude, they were 50, 60 yards away. What are you doing?"
It happens.
Say that.
It's hard when they come off of a pond
Mm-hmm.
and it's got a tree line in the back, and all you're looking at. Come on now, hold on.
Oh,
How about them ducks on the pond?
no, that's not fair.
Oh, I got a new gun.
Well, it was a new gun.
Yeah,
Never shot it before.
yeah. They were right in front of you. I swatted them up and boom, boom,
That's
boom.
even on video.
Swat them up. Did it?
Yeah,
Oh.
that was the first time you were there, and we shot him.
No, no, no,
First
no,
time-
no.
I
This
was
is
gonna
when
say
me and
these.
Jason- This is when
I
This
was the
was
first
when-
time you were there, you missed it too.
this was when I didn't wake up. And then
Yeah. This is when I pulled in, and I'm sitting at the golf course, and I'm getting text messages from Bill saying Brandon's not waking up, and I'm like, damn it. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll drive, and then there goes Bowers. Bowers drives by and he honks at me, and I'm like, well, I guess we're done. So I leave.
I've learned with Brandon, if I don't get a text back, I don't leave the house until he's
well, how
cranky.
about opening day of goose season this year? I raced the night before we raced. I went home, grabbed my stuff, and was at the golf course like an hour before you guys and took a nap in the truck.
Yeah.
Smart.
Good idea.
Because I was like,
If you want home,
no
he
way.
ain't coming. Like
Yeah.
I literally when I wake up, I'll look at Facebook Messenger and it says Brandon was active 2 hours ago, and he ain't active now. He ain't getting up. He done. Like he a done sleeper.
I
Like
mean, Brent, I did come back. I
yeah,
was basically home.
Yeah.
I did turn back around and drive another 40 minutes to just miss some ducks, but
Yeah.
still time.
I mean that
Got to hang
happens.
out with Brandon.
Everyone misses.
Just me and Brandon.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun.
Phil went to sleep. Phil
Yeah.
came back.
I want to work.
Bowers said he was enjoying a cup of coffee on his porch, even though he lived less than 10 minutes from it.
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah.
much so. I ain't never.
It happens. You know.
We have stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean we have plenty of good times hunting.
I've been woken up. There was one day, me and my buddy, when I was younger, we trout fished in high school. And I slept with my windows open because it was a nice night the night before. And I'm asleep. And I wake up out of like a haze, and I hear, Jason! I'm like, who the hell? Jason, you gotta get up! And it's my buddy standing outside my window, down below, looking up at my window because he knows where I sleep at. And he's yelling at me to get up. And he was like, I got out to his car and he goes, dude, you're not. I was about to leave 5 minutes. Like, I'm not even kidding you. He said he's standing after for probably a good 30 minutes yelling my name before I actually got up. And it was
That's
like,
funny.
it was 4 a.m.
I
I think.
casted the rod in there and started hooking blanket.
He
with
was
blanket.
throwing stuff at my window, apparently. I mean, but I have a screen, so I can't hear. He's not hitting glass.
But it's just crazy though. Like when we go hunting or fishing, like we could be an hour of sleep, but we're ready to
Yeah.
go. Like it's just like when we went to Florida, dude. I think we only got maybe out of like a whole week, like maybe 6 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Like
We were up in the mornings, pretty early, and hunting all night.
yeah, all
At
night.
2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, Kurt's like, I'm tired. I'm like, we're used to this right now
Yeah,
because that we were in our coyote hunting stage or
Yeah.
night hunting.
wake up,
Yeah.
go back at it, go do whatever. Freaking
I mean,
feed
that-
fish, get food, back out hunting. Like it was
Yeah.
like
You guys can make fun of me, but that's what we do out there in North Dakota. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, that's
the way it is.
when we went duck hunting down with my buddy Mike at Taylor's Island.
oh, that was a
We
trip.
we drove down. We piled in my truck, me, you, and Kyle. Drove down to Kent Narrows, got a hotel room at Kent Narrows
We got there at 11.
at 11. And then he's in Grayson, though, which right on the other side, Kent Narrows. So I was like, all right, we don't have to wake up till this time. And then he texted me, he's like, hey, be in my house at 3:30. I'm like, dude, that's a couple of hours. And it was a Friday night into Saturday. I worked a full 8. He was working. It's like, we literally just got a couple hours of sleep because by the time, because we brought all our stuff into the room.
Yeah. Well,
But then we got to take all our stuff back to the trucks, load the truck up, get to his house. I hooked my truck up to his boat.
Yeah.
And then it's like another 2.5 hours down to where we're hunting at.
Yeah, it was like
We're all the way down. Well, it's Blackwater. Isn't that what that is down there?
yeah.
Yeah. We're down there, like Taylor's Island. And then we stopped at Wawa. And the Coast Guard guy was there. Was like, you boys better watch that storm's coming up. Better
Go
watch
suck
the
that
tide.
water out
Go
of there.
Suck that water right out of them canals.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
Still sleeping, driving. So we let out, and there's a couple other guys out there too. We're buzzing through, and everyone's got mud motors and long tail and long shafts and stuff. We got like a 90 horsepower, just a Honda. 18? That's like 18 foot.
Yeah.
Flat bottom boat. We're buzzing down through there. Can't see nothing. He just has to light every once in a while.
We're in the blind, just like we're waiting to hit something.
Yeah, like we're just sitting in the boat blind because that's what it was, and we're just like, and he looks,
We're like full
I'm like-
tilt.
and then he just like he'll lean up, hit the light a little bit, and then just be like swerving and missing stuff and heading out there.
And then sure as shit, we're like 12 o'clock hit Titan. That water gone.
Dude, gone.
We're like, man, why are these guys leaving so early? We're like, we're just watching their decoys slowly but surely out of the water.
Yeah,
Like, it sucked the water out.
I had to
Quick.
get out of the boat, and my buddy Mike was like, "Let's see how soft it is." I had chest waders on. I got out. They had to pull me back in. I was stuck in
Yeah.
mud.
It was freaking ridiculous.
2 weeks ago when I got stuck that Bill mentioned in the first episode.
Yeah, he's there. He goes
Yeah.
getting stuck.
No,
Got they're in ankle deep water.
I will show you
That
videos
don't
of it.
count.
Nope. Face.
don't
I might have been. It might have been only ankle deep water. I will say that.
no, mine was up
the
to my
mud.
crotch.
The mud went to my crotch. That's where
Yeah.
the mud went to. Mud was to my crotch, and then the water was to the bottom of my belly.
That was a long day.
Yeah.
We ran out of food and drink. Like, cause
Oh,
we
you
were
guys got stuck.
almost.
Almost. If we would have waited, 10 more minutes, we would have been stuck.
Yeah,
we
we'd
would have
been
been
done.
there. We would have to walk back. That's
We were blowing chunks of mud. That's
Yeah.
Like the motor didn't even have water sitting on it. She overheating on the way back.
it was.
We built, and my buddy Kyle is like scared.
Yeah, he was
Dude,
waiting up.
he's at the bow of the boat, looking back at me like his eyes are this huge,
Like,
this
scared.
scared death. Like even going out in the morning, like just holding on. He's like, yeah, he's never done anything like that
Yeah.
before.
I don't think he'll come back to that.
Yeah, that yeah. What we kill one duck, the shot ruddy duck.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, and that was on the way back.
And
We
that
were
was way
just.
back when we were barely making it.
Yeah. There's a lot of birds down there though,
Yeah.
where we just couldn't
a
get.
waste of a trip. You got a good
We- I-
source.
Well, yeah. Oh yeah. There's always good stories when we go out. We
Oh,
see
dude.
the golden eyes, and they're working their way up. Through.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hope these things come. Well, there's guys hunting like another 100 yards down. They packed up early, come up, they flew off. I really wanted that golden eye. There was a pair
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah, we had a lot of opportunities, but like I said, they're down there. They're fast. Like where we were on a bend, and when they came in, if you weren't ready,
Yeah.
you
You
weren't.
couldn't even come up out of the blind.
Yeah, you
in
weren't.
time to.
I mean, that way it was shitty, but
I had a full choke in.
yeah.
Full choke at 20 yards on that. Yeah.
You didn't know it.
Yeah, I've
did-
seen
I
me
did.
shoot a freaking goose at like 90 yards.
Yeah.
That's a UFO trip, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did do good there with black duck when we were in Dunpayment. That last one needed that full choke on them last shots I took. I was sniping.
Yeah, you lit them up. They're definitely pretty far. I was impressed. Oh, so was he, and he
Yeah.
was
Well, he's impressed with all of us. We shot really good.
yeah. So
Go from missing geese at 20 yards to hammering ducks at 50.
no, that was a blast. I can't wait.
Maybe we can just hit little things better.
Yeah.
The big things we all do.
Yeah. You don't. You just.
I just get worked
Cool.
up. I do.
Oh, dude, it's
honestly.
exciting. It's
Yeah.
These are fun.
I mean, it's just like
Anything.
fishing. You see, you get that little nibble. You're like, oh, and then it's just
Yeah.
like, oh fuck.
I kid you not. This is another story from North Dakota. whatever. 2 years ago, it was 2 years ago, we had a flock of snow geese come in that we pulled off, and they were coming. They were barreling it, and I mean it's easy 500 birds, like no questions asked, no nothing, like, and there's 4 of us laying out. We're like, no, we don't have snow goose calls. We were just like, my buddy's dad just makes goofy noises with his mouth, and I'm not even gonna lie, the eternity started coming to us. So like, for this goose call, that's not even a joke. And these snow geese came in, and we're like, holy, they're actually doing it. We're gonna get some shots, some snows. And they came right in, and my buddy's dad goes, kill them. Boom, 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 boom. 2 birds fell. Dude, I mean, there's 150, 200 birds in our face, like 20 yards landing in the decoys, and 2 geese fell. That was it.
Yeah, well, that happened.
Two's better than none.
And then later that day, my buddy shoots a speckle belly at 70 yards, just drops it, 1 shot, like no questions asked. And it's like, we can't hit a geese 20 yards in front of us, but we could shoot a speckle belly at 7.
But yeah, no, it's been a good episode. You know, I feel like we'll have to have a whole episode just for North Dakota. Like that's
I
just
feel like
that's
there's
just
a lot of stories.
yeah. We'll we got to get them out. You know, we'll get those in the next episode when he gets on here. We have a lot of new guests that are actually very. Well, I can't talk right now. We have a lot of guys that want to get on here that we're getting on list. So, but yeah, if you guys have any questions, you know, leave a comment. But yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. It's been a good podcast, dude. Just all good, just all natural. Like, you know, our first episode. Sorry, it was just I know Brandon. I've known Brandon for a long time, so it's probably awkward as heck because like we're talking about stories that we were actually together in stories. So like, you know, it's good to have Jason. We knew Jason for a while, but you know, there's stuff that we can talk about that we haven't talked about, and it was cool. It felt natural.
There's a lot of fishing stuff that we didn't even get into.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, but we don't want to have too long episodes, you know, right now. But yeah, check out our merch. We got a lot of new stuff coming out. Check out the website, our Shopify. It'll be linked in our descriptions. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the podcast channel, and there will be a link for our regular channel. Don't forget to leave a subscribe to that. Anything else, guys?
Yeah.
Well, what's the fun?
Hooked on hunting. So this is Keystone Hunters. We're out of here.
Yep.
So we'll see you guys on the next episode.
See ya.
Later.